Well, you join me down here. I'm hiding behind my bivvy on a very cold winter session. You join me down here on one of my new club lakes. I thought I'd start a new year on a new club lake. So yeah, down here doing 24 hours. And I haven't been here long, but I've got the rods out now. So very windy. Conditions are looking alright. It's supposed to rain quite hard tonight, but I've got two good spots. One up in a nice secluded bay away from the wind, and another one to an island. So it's looking good. We're going to get some food on the go, and yeah, hopefully I'll get back to you with a fish, and then in the morning talk some rigs and things, and tactics and stuff. So spot on. Speak to you in a bit. Cheers, guys. Now. Sadly, last night was uneventful on the fish side of things. We had strong winds, lashing rain, and yeah, it wasn't really the best conditions. Conditions just changed and got more severe. The wind swung round, as you can hear, it's still pretty bad. The wind started pushing down to a southerly wind instead of a northeasterly. So we were at the wrong end of the lake for that side of things. It looked good at first. Now it's swung round, so it's a bit of a shame, but it's warm, the sun's shining up here, so hopefully the fish will be inclined to come up towards the sun. Hopefully we can pick them off a bit later on. Maybe we get some zigs out, put a bit of bait over the zigs. But yeah, sadly nothing last night. But yeah, let's see if we can have one today. I'm going to eat my breakfast now. I'll show you some rigs and the tactics for today, so get back to you in a bit. Cheers, guys. Well, still no fish action, and we're nearing the end of our session now. But what I thought I'd do is just take you through the tactics of how we were trying to catch these fish. Luckily, I've had the aid of a bait boat. Use this in France. A cracking tool if used correctly. A lot of people, there's a lot of bad press and a lot of good press about them, but I think they're great. So yeah, I was using the bait boat to drop a healthy amount of bait, not too much, directly over my spot and over my hook baits. So the mix I was using was little gems pellets. It was the basis of the mix. Really small micro pellets. I suppose most of you know how good little gems pellets are. Phenomenal. Breakdown time is phenomenal. The oil's leaking off them, high in protein and everything. Also, Hinder's sweet maize. Just ordinary maize, but soaked in beetle. This time of year, you want a lot of attractants leaking off, whether they be sweet or whether they be fish meal. You still want a lot of flavour. Adding also a little bit extra beetle to soak into the pellets. Hinder's beetle in there, basically they call it liquid gold, and really it is phenomenal, creating a little halo around your hook baits of sweet smelling liquid. And yeah, also dunking my bottom bait in the snails liquid, alternating between Hinder's nuts boilies and the snails as well. Back on the snails, both in 14mm, not too big, not too small. Trimming them down and putting them in conjunction with a Hinder's betaine pot, the fruits ones there, that's 10mm there. And the rigs I'm using, they're quite simple. I'm using a 360 rig with a Hinder's 15mm fruits pop-up. I think we all know the hooking potentials of that rig. It obviously says it in the name, 360, spins around at 360 degrees, and nails the cut from whatever angle it decides to approach the bait. So great for this sort of winter time when they're a bit finicky on the feeding. And then also for my bottom bait rig, I'm just using a standard KD rig with a little size 8 mugger there, hybrid stiff 18 pound, 2/4 sinkers, and a hinder snails bottom bait, and a fruits on top, just chopped in half so they sit flush. And yeah, it's just going to sit up right on the bottom, creating a lovely presentation. All of this mixed in. I was mixing a bit of tuna at first, but it got quite cold, so I decided not to in the end because of the oils, the leakage time and that sort of thing. It takes a long time, the oils congeal. So that's the mix. Adding also a few of the crushed up boilies in there as well, and whole boilies and chops as well, using the quarter crusher to create a real powdery, nice sort of cloudiness in the water, attracting a few fish in. But as you've seen, it hasn't worked so far today. But yeah, hopefully next time we come down, maybe we'll catch a few. But for the time being, that's the mix I'm using, and yeah, hopefully there's still time for a fish and see if we can get one. There we go, that's the end of the first session on my new club lake. Haven't caught anything, had a lot of liners, but can't really grumble really. First session, don't know much about the lake, still get my bearings of the place. So hopefully just get better from now on. I'll be back down here soon, find out a bit more about what catches, how it fishes, and yeah, see if I can wiggle a couple of nice ones out. I think it's going to be a good season. There's a couple of other nice lakes on the ticket with a few bigger fish in it, so hopefully a couple of lunkers will grace my net. But yeah, until next time, tight lines, and see you soon. Cheers guys.